The loop you can't escape. You ever lie awake at 2 a.m., mind racing like it's trying to solve the mystery of the universe? You replay a conversation from last week, wonder if you locked the door twice, spiral into what-ifs, and somehow end up thinking about your fifth-grade teacher's weird obsession with frogs. Yeah, that's overthinking. It's like having a monkey with a flashlight jumping around in your head, shining light on every problem and every possibility, real or imagined. You want clarity, you want peace, but your mind just won't shut up. Here's the truth most people miss. Overthinking isn't the problem. The attachment to thoughts is. And this is exactly where Buddhist teachings offer something radically different. An invitation to relate to your mind, not wrestle with it. This isn't about mantras and incense, though those can help. It's about training the mind the way a musician trains the hand. Gently, consistently, with awareness. So let's talk, not in grand philosophical riddles, but like we're sitting on a bench, somewhere quiet, untangling the knots together. Here are 10 Buddhist lessons that will help you stop overthinking, not by silencing your thoughts, but by changing how you see them. 1. The thought is not the thinker. Who's behind the curtain? Let's start here. It's the biggest illusion that every thought you have must be yours, must be true, must be relevant. But think about it. You don't choose most of your thoughts. They just show up, uninvited guests at a dinner party. Some are funny, some are paranoid, some are downright mean, and yet you believe them. You identify with them. Buddhism calls this illusion the false self, the idea that I am my thoughts. But the more you observe your mind, the more you see how thoughts rise and fall, like clouds in an open sky. You're not the clouds, you're the sky. Thoughts are like echoes in a cave, loud but not real. Zen saying the more you step back and witness the thought without clinging to it, the less power it has over you. It's like a spam email. You can read it, laugh, and hit delete. No need to reply. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you paused and thought, is this thought helpful, or is it just noise? That tiny gap between you and the thought. That's where freedom lives. 2. Suffering begins where resistance begins. There's a teaching in Buddhism that goes, pain is inevitable. Suffering is optional. It sounds like a cheap Instagram quote until you actually live it. See, overthinking often comes from resisting reality, wishing things were different, rehashing mistakes, fearing what's next. But the more you resist, the louder the mind gets. Imagine holding a beach ball underwater. It takes energy, focus, strain. That's your mind trying to suppress worry, doubt, fear, and eventually, that beach ball's gonna fly up and smack you in the face. Acceptance doesn't mean approval. It means acknowledgement. It's saying, yes, this is happening. And suddenly, you're no longer fighting the current. You're floating with it. You know what's wild? Sometimes, when you stop resisting the storm in your mind, you realize it's just a drizzle. 3. The present moment is boring. Until it saves you. Let's be honest, mindfulness gets marketed like a magical cure. Breathe, be present, just exist. Sounds lovely until you're in line at the DMV or stuck in traffic. Who wants to be present for that? But here's the kicker. Overthinking lives in time. Mindfulness lives outside of it. Worry pulls you into the future. Regret drags you into the past. But the present? That's where reality lives. And reality, however imperfect, is manageable. Often even okay. Mindfulness doesn't mean zoning out. It means zooming in. Notice the pressure of your feet on the floor, the rhythm of your breath, the sensation of your coffee cup in your hand. Those tiny anchors, they cut the feedback loop of thought. They remind the body that we're safe now and that now is the only place we ever actually live. Not yesterday, not 5 years from now, just here and here. It's quiet. 4. You don't need to fix everything. Most of it fixes itself. Here's the trap. You think if you just figure it out, if you analyze hard enough, you'll solve the thing, end the problem, close the loop. But have you noticed? The more you obsess over a decision or a mistake or a possibility, the messier it gets. It's like poking a wound hoping it'll heal faster. In Buddhism, there's the idea of non-action. Sometimes the wisest thing is to not interfere. Let the mud settle, let the water clear. Nature knows this. Rivers don't push, trees don't rush. They wait, and somehow things unfold. You know what overthinking really is? It's a desperate attempt to control what's inherently uncontrollable. But peace? Peace shows up the moment you realize you don't have to have all the answers. 5. Labels are lies. Stop naming everything. This one's subtle but powerful. Your mind loves to label. Good, bad, right, wrong, success, failure. The second something happens, your brain slaps a sticker on it and files it into a drawer. And suddenly, you're reacting not to what's real, but to the label. Miss a deadline? I'm a failure. Feel anxious? I'm broken. Didn't get a text back? They hate me. But in Buddhism, we're taught to see things as they are, without judgment, without narrative. So instead of I'm anxious, try there's anxiety. Instead of I'm stuck, try there's stuckness. That tiny shift creates space. And in that space, the thought loses its claws. You are not the name your mind gives you. You're not a character in your own criticism. You're just here, witnessing. 6. Impermanence isn't sad, it's liberating. Everything changes, every mood, every fear, every thought. And yet, we act like the mind is this permanent structure, set in stone, never evolving. But remember your teenage thoughts, your old insecurities, half of those you don't even recognize anymore. In Buddhism, anicca, impermanence, isn't a sad truth, it's a freeing one. Why? Because it means your overthinking won't last. Your worst thoughts are visitors, not roommates. One Zen monk put it beautifully. You can't stop the waves, but you can learn to surf. Knowing this, you stop clinging. You stop catastrophizing. You stop making today's fear your life's identity. Let it pass. It always does. 7. Craving clarity creates chaos. Here's a weird one. The more you demand clarity, the more confused you get. Sounds backwards, right? But think about it. Overthinking usually starts when you need to be sure. You need to know if you're making the right move, choosing the right path, saying the right thing. So you loop, you analyze, you freeze. Buddhism teaches us that craving, even craving understanding, is a source of suffering. That doesn't mean you stop seeking insight. It means you loosen the grip. Some answers come when you stop shouting questions at them. Some truths land softly, in silence. Let life reveal itself like film in a dark room. Slowly, unexpectedly. You don't need all the clarity now, just enough light to take the next step. 8. Detachment doesn't mean you don't care. People often misunderstand this one. Detachment sounds cold, aloof, indifferent. But Buddhist detachment isn't about ignoring life. It's about not getting stuck in it. You can love deeply, care fully, engage fully, and still not lose yourself in the story. Overthinking often comes from over-identifying, with outcomes, with approval, with identity. But when you loosen that grip, you breathe easier. Detachment is like wearing the world loosely. You experience everything, but nothing owns you. You show up, you act, you care, but you don't cling. And that's emotional freedom. 9. Your mind is a tool, not a tyrant. Your mind is brilliant. It helps you solve problems, build spreadsheets, remember birthdays. But left unchecked, it turns into a loud, over-caffeinated roommate who never shuts up. The trick isn't to stop thinking. It's to learn how to think, when to think, why you think. Meditation helps here, not because it makes your mind quiet, but because it shows you the volume knob. And once you realize you can observe your thoughts instead of being run by them, game changer. You stop reacting, you start responding, you become the driver again. 10. Peace isn't a destination, it's a practice. Let's wrap it with this. There's no finish line, no perfect state where you never overthink again, but that's okay. Peace isn't a prize, it's a process, a choice, a rhythm you return to again and again. Like brushing your teeth or stretching your back, it's part of how you care for yourself. Some days you'll spiral, some days you'll float. But each moment you get to decide, will I feed this thought or will I let it pass? That's the heart of it. Closing, sit with it, don't solve it. So if you take anything from this, let it be this. You're not broken because your mind is loud. You're not lost because you think too much. You're just human. And you're learning a new way to be with your thoughts. Less like a prisoner, more like a patient friend. It won't be perfect, but it will be real. And sometimes, real is better than perfect. Just sit, just breathe. And when the thoughts come, smile at them, then let them go. You've got this.